Yes, everyone, hello, and welcome back to your evening Forever United TV Manchester United update show. I'm Adam. Welcome along. Get in the live chat if you are live with us right now, everybody. I want your comments. It was a mad day, let's be honest. We got the big update on Mbeumo. I want to get some more comments in on that because not everyone was available in the live show earlier on. So if you want to have your say on Mbeumo and where we're at with that, we will talk about that again and where we're up to and what's expected now after the bombshell from Ornstein earlier on. I want to talk about Garnacho to Villa as well. That started to gather momentum again from a report from Paul Hurst from the Times and what he said earlier on. They touched on Martinez and Andre Onana as well. We'll get into that from the midday show and what's actually been said on that one. Why am I talking about Benjamin Cesco? I'll tell you exactly why I'm talking about Benjamin Cesco and why people are starting to talk more about the potential move to Manchester United. That coming up, as well as a Sancho update and an academy graduate that never got a chance that's gone again on loan. All of that in tonight's show. Welcome along, everybody. This is Forever United TV, and let's get right into the news and what's happening. I said earlier on, it was an eventful earlier afternoon. Let's just say that. Mbeumo news dropped. If you were living under a rock, you might not have heard the news that David Ornstein dropped. Manchester United have gone in massive on BRYAN Mbeumo. The news of Johan Visa actually going to Newcastle and a bid imminent has pushed Manchester United into bidding not what they wanted, but enough to get Brentford to move. Now, every single source coming out since United dropped the 65 million plus 5 million in add-ons price on Mbeumo and offer to Brentford has said that Manchester United are confident that he will be on the Manchester United tour. He is going to be on the tour. Manchester United are expecting to conclude this deal by Monday, even if the Brentford try and come back with some minor little details just to finalise the deal or tweak it. United are thought to be just ready to go. They want him in. They want Ruben to have the best chance in preparation for the new season, and that starts on the pre-season tour near enough. United play, of course, on Saturday, where we'll be wearing the new kit, so good chance to see that. Leeds over in Sweden. So again, with a fully fit squad, it's going to be interesting to see how he rotates, how many academy players actually are involved in the Sweden game, because this could give us an indication as to who is coming on the US tour. If BRYAN Mbeumo is there, obviously someone else will miss out. Don't know who, but we will see and wait for that. But everything that's been said is full confidence that Manchester United are going to get BRYAN Mbeumo completed and he's going to be done. I think he now, in pushing this move forward as well from this point, is going to stop any sort of, I think, unrest between the two clubs. It's like, now that Manchester United have done this, BRYAN Mbeumo is fully on board with Manchester United, and if they try to pull anything else off here, Brentford now, as in trying to get any more money out of Manchester United, they're going to be told where to go, and then they will have a problem player on their hands. BRYAN Mbeumo has seen Manchester United put full commitment down to taking him to the football club. That's his dream move. If Brentford tried anything now, they would have a big problem, and that would be a problem player alongside Manchester United walking away. Because if it is rejected outright, then United will not come back with another offer, which I think is right. But that is pretty much where United are at now with Mbeumo. Now, earlier on, we did say when we were talking about Mbeumo, please do pile in with your comments on him. I will come in around about the 10 minutes mark with your live comments as well to get your opinions on Mbeumo or anything else we talk in that time now. But earlier on, we were saying with Mbeumo pretty much done, like obviously, we're being very careful in what we say because obviously it's not been accepted yet. There's been no news come out from Brentford officially saying that Manchester United's bid has been accepted by the Bees. But what we can expect here is, like I just said, with everyone what's been going around the news saying that this is pretty much done, United can move on. United can look at other players. And all of a sudden, we can start looking elsewhere because all Romano has done to us for the last 4 weeks is said all they care about is BRYAN Mbeumo. All they want to do is get Mbeumo done. That's the focus. That's the main priority. Nothing else matters. It's BRYAN Mbeumo. That's all we've got. Well, now there's no more Mbeumo. It looks like this is going to be one way or the other settled this weekend. And he's probably going to be at United. But if Brentford do try to do the unthinkable, then we're going to walk away and go elsewhere with obviously 65 million available to spend on someone else. That's where this is significant as well. Don't forget, Manchester United now, if Brentford do play silly buggers and they don't accept that bid for Man United, we all know now that United have got 65 million to spend on another player, and that brings into the equation some tasty players as well. I'm not saying United are going to go and blow that on a Benjamin Cesco, but the talk on Benjamin Cesco is going to liven up. Now, we spoke about this. I spoke about this about 3 weeks ago. I said, just keep an eye on Benjamin Cesco. As soon as Gyökeres goes and commits to Arsenal, watch Cesco go elsewhere. He's been offered to everybody. This one, I think, will wait it out, and United will wait it out. If the opportunity comes around and the deal fits Manchester United, I think we go for Benjamin Cesco. I really do. Graham Bailey said it a couple of days ago. I've heard Ben Jacobs talking about it as well over the last few days. Keep an eye on it. It isn't dead. There is a link between Vivel and Leipzig, which is obvious. There is a love for Manchester United in bringing players through that they can develop. Like, the pathway was built by Christopher Vivel for Benjamin Cesco, and if he gets the opportunity to bring him in to Manchester United, he will push that as hard as he possibly can. The financials of this deal are going to be very complicated, though. We've heard noises of up to 80 million that RB Leipzig want for Benjamin Cesco. Look, there's a reason why nobody's taken him yet. There's a reason why when he was offered to Chelsea, they said no. When he was offered to Liverpool, they said no. It's not because of the quality of the player. There's a realistic look on things, and I think RB Leipzig have priced him out of the market because they're not in the Champions League, and they're trying to cover the money that they would have got if they were in Europe. This is a bad season for Leipzig, and they are now looking to obviously recover and recoup some of that money. And there is a promise to Benjamin Cesco after he committed to them last season and not leaving when everyone expected him to be let go at the right price this summer. I think later down the window something might change with Leipzig, and I feel like Benjamin Cesco could be heading out, but not for the price that Leipzig want. I think United are going to stay alert to that situation and not jump in on another striker until they know that he's definitely not on their radar. He's gone off it because he's gone somewhere else, or Leipzig are just not playing ball. There's a chance, I think, on this one, and there's too many people talking about it again. And like we said before, even Fabrizio Romano has said that Manchester United do have an interest in Benjamin Cesco. He's on their list of strikers. He's just too dear at the moment, and with everything going on with Ekitike, with Osimhen, and everything else around Gyökeres and Arsenal, and obviously all the other targets that we could have and lost, United are realistically right now, I'm not going to say that Benjamin Cesco is bottom of the barrel like he is our fourth and fifth choice striker. It looks like that on paper. I think United have always been open, and one thing that I will always go back to and what Romano said was United will wait for the opportunity. They will wait to see what happens. And United, sometimes you could argue, don't move very quick. Very much the case in point with BRYAN and Mbeumo. But they do wait it out. And sometimes that isn't a bad thing, because you get some better deals later down the lines. It's like everybody, like now, how many times have we said this? Why don't we do like what Chelsea do and what everyone does to United? Haggle, get the deal done, work through the deal, try and figure out the best offer, and get what that actual selling club wants, get to the point and get to the line, and then someone else comes in and says, we'll just bid that. Why don't you let other clubs do it? Now, Arsenal have already done this, so we know where we're at. We're at approximately, Arsenal, from what's been reported, got this deal down into the 60 millions mark. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember it being around 65 million. Funnily enough, the price of Mbeumo. And I'm not using that as the example as to why we're talking about Cesco here now. I'm just saying that United already know the hard work has been done. The negotiations for weeks with Arsenal have been done. They know what Benjamin Cesco has been offered by Arsenal. They know what RB Leipzig want for him. That should come down. And at the end of the window, with him wanting to move as well, I think there's an opportunity here. And Benjamin Cesco could be a Manchester United player. Just wanted to bring that up and talk about it, because United officially, after we get Mbeumo done, I'm crossing everything, I'm touching every piece of wood, and that's finished, United can then take their time. Well, not take their time, but you know what I mean. Actually now start to reassess where they're at. They can get the money in for the players that we're supposedly selling. They can reassess everything from what they've spent and what they've sold so far. As far as I see it, at the moment, Manchester United are around about the 100 million net spend when we bring in BRYAN and Mbeumo. A little bit less, so like 98, 99 mil, 100 million mark net spend at the moment. Obviously, we can now start to sell players and bring that down. And I said this before, Manchester United's net spend this summer will be probably one of the lowest that we've ever had, because they need to be clever and they need to be thinking ahead of the disaster, which is not getting European football and going into next season's transfer window. Although that would change if squad ratio rules kick in for PSR. So that's where I think Manchester United are at when it comes to the Benjamin Cesco situation, because of BRYAN and Mbeumo now being completed. Every single journalist who's talked about BRYAN and Mbeumo has always said, including Romano, including Ornstein, all of the big hitters, United will concentrate on bringing in a striker as soon as BRYAN and Mbeumo is done, off the back of selling other players the club do not want. We are going to talk about a couple of them players in a minute. But first of all, into the chat we go, everybody. Leo is writing now with a super chat. Adam, this the chance Antony will be used in a deal to bring Cesco to United. I mentioned it last night, Leo, actually, on this one. In the list of clubs that are actually interested in Antony, and Manchester United's new 50 million price tag. All of a sudden, we've grown a pair of balls and we're asking for the right bleeding money. And so, could this be, with Leipzig interested in Antony, an opportunity for Manchester United? I do hope so, Leo. I do. We was talking about this last night, mate, and it is a good shout. Thanks for that, bud. Sean in with a super chat. I fully believe that Brentford and United agreed to stretch this deal out to detract from how skint we are. It's so depressing being a United fan. How do you make that out there, Sean? How do you reckon that? It doesn't matter about how skint we are. I don't understand. Like, you're still paying more money. In the end, we've paid more than what we wanted to pay. So dragging this out has made no difference, really. I'm not too sure where you're going with that one, bud. Thanks for the super chat, though, mate. English Dan Reviews, thank you. New member in the house, matey. Love that. Let's get some more in this. Raj says, Adam, I got some friends from Slovenia. They are telling me that interest is genuine. He could end up at United this season. Of course the interest is genuine, Raj. Thanks for that update, mates. From the Slovenian side of things as well. I will always link Manchester United to Benjamin Cesco. He has turned us down before. We have chased him before. United know all about him. United know everything they need to know about Benjamin Cesco. So they're fully confident of his development from being a teenager all the way through. Because of when we chased him, because of Christopher Vivel, he fits the profile of player Manchester United want. He's a tall, quick, strong type of striker that Ruben Amorim also likes. Can we make a deal happen for Benjamin Cesco? That's the big question. That's the killer question right now. What can Man United raise with sales? Can we raise enough to bring in another quality player? Now, Mbeumo, Cunha and Cesco as a front three, it's different level, isn't it, for Man United next season? That straight out the box there, you're going, yeah, that's a different ball game altogether. Can we loan a key striker with obligation to buy? We can, if someone allows us to, but I've said this before. When United are on their ass, what club on this planet, on this earth, are in their right mind would want to help Manchester United out, V33? Honestly, that is the big problem we've got. We should be doing this, but you only get things like this happening when the player isn't too, let's just say, isn't in too much good a form. That's how I would describe it. He's not wanted as much. I think that's when you get these loans with obligations, because you want to take the player, but you don't want to risk it. So you want to do a little bit of a trial and then take him. Now, could United do that? I've mentioned this before with Benjamin Cesco and Leipzig. Could Vivel pull off a masterclass with this one? Give a loan fee and obviously then do an obligation if he hits a certain mark. Look, we can be clever, but it's all on what Leipzig are actually wanting out of this deal, and we just don't know. We just don't know. Like, we know that they've played hardball with Arsenal. There's no reason why they wouldn't do that with Manchester United. Can Vivel do something? He would have to pull off a masterstroke to get that over the line. But it is a point to make. We can be clever. Block says, Adam, I mean that we can't work on two deals at once. Do you think United wouldn't have had an agreement with Brentford for that? In fairness to Manchester United, with these deals, it does look like we have progressed with the Jadon Sancho one, and that's coming up in a minute. So maybe, we always knew, mate. Look, we got Cunha done, and then we thought we were going to get BRYAN and Mbeumo quickly. We just didn't realise what we were going to come up against, Sean, I don't think, in Brentford, and how hard they negotiate. for their deals. So I think that's where United have... I'm not saying they've not done their own work. We've never bought a player off Brentford before. So we found out now, and now we know where to blacklist Brentford in the future. Another one of them. So, yeah, I think that's what it is, buddy. Because I think United were ready to bring in Mbeumo and then fully concentrate on getting the deals done for the players we need to get out. But again, just to answer that one in a bit more detail, I think Manchester United's main priority this pre-season, is not making a mistake. And I still remember we've been talking about it. We won't make the same mistakes again. They're not rushing anything. They've got 2 deals done now. Near enough. When Mbeumo signs, we can officially say halfway through the window, the top 2 targets are in. Number 1 and number 1 in them positions. We've got him. It's done. And I said this before. Now that Mbeumo looks like he is over the line and finished, I'm really going to start judging Ineos now, because this is where I feel that they will struggle. This is where I think the real recruitment and management team and a different football structure takes over. So I know that United can buy a player at any point. Like, people judging Ineos over deals for BRYAN, Mbeumo, Matheus Cunha, and how much we paid, how long it took to get these deals done over the line. I don't judge on that. I don't think that's bad business for United. They thought they could get a deal and they pushed it to the limit. I would do the same in any walk of life. If you feel you can get a better deal, you're going to go for it. You're not going to be an idiot and say, oh, okay, there's your first price. You're not going to do it. It took longer than what we thought. Fair enough. Deal now looks like it's being completed. Anyone can do that. I ain't got a problem with the time. I've said this all along, and you know I've said this all the way through. I'm now judging them on what they do next. This is the real recruitment. I want to see what the young players that they brought in last summer bring in a couple of years' time. I want to see what the young players they're bringing in this season do in a couple more years' time. That's when I judge recruitment. That's proper recruitment, because you're finding talent and nurturing it through a system with a pathway to become more profitable, or actually come in and have an impact in your first team. That's real quality recruitment. They're obvious signings. Mbeumo and Cunha are 2 of the most wanted men in the Premier League from last season. Anybody could say that they're the right type of players to come to Manchester United. Everyone in the bleeding league wanted them. Forget that. Yeah, deal's done. £127 million spent, apparently, according to the reports that have come out on this next offer from United for Mbeumo. That's done. Like, any club in the country would do that. Not got anything to talk about with that for me. Now let's see. Can you get... And by the way, this one will be an interesting one. Can you get a Benjamin Cesco when it looks like we can't afford him? If you can, applaud you. Well done. That's where I'm looking at Ineos now. And more importantly, can you get United any money for the players that this previous regime completely screwed us over with? That's when I'm going to be judging. And that's what I think everyone should look at and not forget. When everyone's moaning about what Ineos are doing now and how long it's taken, paying the price that they were asking, first of all, for 7 weeks ago, Brentford that is, nobody I've seen yet has come up with anything like what you expect for the players that we want out. So let's see if them same people are praising Ineos and their management team when they sell players. That's the proper judgment, I think, anyway, on this one. Thanks for the super chat, Sean, by the way, mate. Love that, pal. Leo with another one as well. Even I will give Ineos credit if Cesco comes through the door, plus both 10s we want. It would be. It's not number 1, is it? He wasn't ever number 1, Benjamin Cesco, but he's a good striker. A very, very good striker. Will he do it in the Prem? That's my concern. If you're going to blow a budget on Cesco this summer, he has to be the main striker for the next 2 or 3 seasons. You're spending a lot on him. Now, don't get me wrong, if you can pull off a miracle and get him on loan, then, wow, you really do need a standing ovation for that one, considering Arsenal couldn't get him done. That would be a brilliant piece of work for Manchester United. Don't think it'll happen, but you never know. Let's see what they can do in this. But again, just to clarify what I'm talking about there and round this bit up and this section up, I do believe the proper judgment now starts for Ineos. The 2 easy signings, they made one difficult, as we know, because they wanted to play hardball and get a good deal. They're done. That's the easy bit. Now we're on to the real business. Let's see what they can do. Les says, hi Adam, can you please say hi to my grandson Clayton watching with me? It will freak him out. He's only 5. Oh, well, on that one then, Clayton. Hello, welcome. Are you happy with BRYAN and Mbeumo's price, mate? Answer in the comment section through Les, my friends. Hope you're having a great night, buddy. And thanks for that again, Les. Wayne the Red says, it would be brilliant if Gyökeres turned out crap. I'll say crap. It's shite. I'll go for it. I just said that then, knowing that there's a 5-year-old watching. I do apologise. I should have known better. Apologies, Clayton. Don't listen to them words, mate. Let's just say it would be great if Gyökeres turned out bobbins. Yeah, and United get Cesco and he is a sensational. I like that comment as well. It would be funny, wouldn't it? Look, these players have got to actually gel yet. Like, there's no guarantee that what Liverpool are doing, what Arsenal are doing, Manchester City, they're all going to gel in the Premier League and find it easy. It could be difficult. And they're all going to take points off each other, that top 4 now. It's going to be a really difficult league. Can you just stay, keep your head above water and just stay relevant in there within a few points in case the unthinkable happens late on in the season and we have a mad run? That's where United have to be. We just have to be in and amongst that top 8, not too far adrift from the Europa League and Champions League places going into the new year. I think most United fans would say we're in it. It's a lot better than what it was last year. And when them games start to pile up at Christmas time and into the new year, when everyone else has got European football and they're knackered, United are fully rested, we can take it, and we should be taking advantage of this season. I'm telling you now. I feel a lot more confident now after the news on Mbeumo. If we've got him in our squad next season and Cunha in our squad, then we're looking juicy. We really are. One player that Man United won't be getting, it would seem, and we're still waiting on this. DiMaggio has said that negotiations between Roma and Palmeiras over the transfer of Richard Rios have cooled. We still not had an update ourselves. There's hope. And again, now that we've spent more, that's why I'm saying this on Richard Rios, let's hope that United can rekindle that so-called, well, let's just say rumour that United were definitely going in for him as a top target in midfield. And if DiMaggio says that there's cooled off between Roma and Palmeiras, I don't know. Maybe there's a better offering later down the line at Manchester United. All of a sudden, Manchester United's transfer window starts to all come together, but a bit later than what people had hoped. What would you say to that as well? That would be another one that would probably twist with a few football fans' minds, or Manchester United fans' minds. In fact, the Manchester United hater fans, I think that would play with them a little bit. Like, how do you judge it now? Like I always said, just wait until the window's finished and then let's see what happens from that point. Moving on to, quickly, first of all, though, we've got a super chat in there. Let's bring that up. First of all, that's come from, oh, no, we got 4 of them. Sorry, I missed all of them. Sorry. Corrupt Recording says, love to get Cesco now, central midfielder and a goalkeeper. Successful window. I'll give me a rating on that one, Corrupt Recording. What would you rate it out of 10? V33 back again. 127 million spent on Cunha and Mbeumo's. Clowns say we waste dollars, thousands. Liverpool, he says, spend 100 million plus on one non-EPL player. The same clowns that say, ooh, what a show of ambition. I kind of got what you said there. I probably read it out crap, mate. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, everyone's going to criticise United for spending 127 million because it's United, but no one's really saying anything about Liverpool spending the same amount of money near enough on one player who's got no Premier League proven experience. Look, I don't think Florian Wirtz is going to be a bad player personally. I think he's a great signing. I think he's ready-made for the Premier League. I hope I'm wrong. I really do, and I hope you're right, V33, on that one, mate, because they do look scary. And if they get... they've got Ekitike. That deal came out earlier on. Still can't believe that. Like, wow. And they're now going for Rodrigo. Seriously, Liverpool need to stop. Stop! In a way, does anyone actually think that Liverpool are going to trip themselves up by buying too many players? Like, they've got a rhythm there, and like coming in with everybody knowing exactly what they were doing. Everyone knows everyone, and now they're completely changing this squad. It's going to be a half of that starting 11 is going to be different. Can you continue the continuity that you had last season in that team with a whole load of new players? That's the question. Look, the quality players. But we've seen this before at United. Sometimes you buy too much and you upset the flow. Maybe. Just maybe. By the way, everyone, for 25 minutes into a show and to have over 500 likes already, that's epic. Thank you. Keep liking the video, people. Love that. Peter says in the chat, oh no, sorry, we've got blocked first of all. Getting mixed up. Will we not play our new signings for the first few games like we normally do, just to get them up to pace of play? I know where you're going with that one, Block, but these two signings, I've said this before, I don't know if you actually commented on it, Sean, actually, but these two signings, in Mbeumo and Cunha, are signings you don't need to integrate into the side. These are signings that are, bang, in you go. No one's even going to compete with them. That's how good of signings these two are. You're buying players that are going right into the starting 11. And we're actually putting decent players on the sideline here. So when you think about it, going into last season, like Rasmus was a starter. We had hope that Mason Mount was going to be a starter. Joshua Zirkzee was a starter. All three of them have just been completely put out of position one way or another and benched with this summer's transfer window. What does that tell you about Man United's recruitment? That, again, mistakes that we've made before, now having to be fixed by this new regime and coach. So that's how important them two signings are for me. Peter says, I'd love a number 9, a goalkeeper and a midfielder, but I think with Cunha and Mbeumo strongly adding to the goals and only 2 spots in the team in central midfield and goalkeeper needs to be a priority next. No striker, a goalkeeper and a midfielder. I can see that, I can. I get it. He says, I think a lot of people are just worried about Rasmus Højlund starting the season again next season, aren't they? I think that's what it is. It is like, we know he's not good enough. I'm not going to make excuses for him. This is his big audition now for Ruben Amorim. Are you worth the money we spent on you? Are you this kid with all the potential? I can't believe I'm even saying that. I'll move past that one quickly. He's going to have to do a lot to convince me. That's all I'll say. Cesco worries me as nobody big is in for him. The fact that Arsenal pivoted to Gyökeres, even with the sporting mess, is strange. I said it at the start, Anthony. I think, and thanks for the super chats, everybody. Appreciate that a lot. I think, Anthony, the situation we've got here is that Leipzig just wanted too much. They rate him highly because he's a player that they have brought through their Red Bull group, and they've got big aspirations. They've got big plans. Like, they want to spend that money and go again. That's what Leipzig do. They are a selling club. That's why they bought in Xavi Simons permanently this time, and they're looking to sell him within 6 months. It doesn't make sense, does it? But they are a selling club. I get what you're saying, though. Nobody else there, and Chelsea and Liverpool haven't taken the bait and gone for him. That is an interesting one. It is. Neil, Cambridge, thanks for renewing the membership, but 17 months a member, 100k by season kickoff, Adam. Awesome job. Thank you. We are flying on the subs again, everybody. I really do appreciate all of the support. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and thanks for comments like that as well, mate. Really appreciate it. Let's see what we've got here as well quickly before we move on. Darren Howley, trust me, people, Cunha and Mbeumo improves us massively. They are a proven quality in the Premier League, and I reckon they will hit the ground running. I actually believe that. I do think that we could have 2 of our best signings here, and I know we say this every bleeding summer, don't we? But we have never gone out and got 2 of the best in class Premier League proven players like these 2 in one window before. This is strange for Manchester United fans, that we don't have a lot of money, but at least we've spent it on the right type of player. That's the important bit in this one, I think. I think Zirkzee will be our main number 9 to bring Cunha and Mbeumo into the goals, and that's why it's not seemingly like a priority right now for a striker. I don't think, I tweeted it out, the more it goes along, I think Man United will wait it out until the end of the window. I honestly don't think that Man United are in any desperate rush to bring a striker in, but then all of the journalists keep saying that we are, which is strange. Anyway, that's enough about Mbeumo and Cesco. That would be a great little front three, that, wouldn't it? Not little, though, either. Strength, pace, power. Yeah, it's going from what we had last season to that. Sign me up. Sign me up right now, is what I say to that. Yes, please. Anyway, Garnacho, on to him and Paul Hurst. I've interviewed Paul Hurst from The Times. Great Great guy. Really easy to talk to, very open. He's the one that's been reporting on Manchester United's training ground complex being completed next month as well, and going through that today. Brilliant. I've seen him on Sky Sports as well, actually. But he's saying that Manchester United's, Aston Villa are in for Garnacho this summer. Now, we've already heard this before. We've already heard that Aston Villa are looking into the possibility of taking Alejandro Garnacho. Even Romano has said that they're expecting things to move on Garnacho soon, and talks will go ahead. Like I said this before, now that Mbeumo, I'm hopefully, again, I keep saying hopefully because I'm expecting this bid to be accepted. When it's done, United can then really concentrate on everything else that's necessary right now. And Garnacho is right up there as one of the priorities alongside the other players we need out of this football club. But Villa are interested. And where we're at with this is, Villa are not convinced yet by the full package, the loan for Garnacho, because of the loan fee. United would demand a tasty loan fee, let's just say that. And I think that's right for United. If the player's going, he's going to be on cheap wages. Surely Villa can afford a loan fee. That, on the Villa side, is what they're not convinced about, according to the reports. And from Garnacho's side, he's not convinced about the future at Aston Villa and fully committing. So that's why he would like a loan first. So that's why United have given these players, don't forget, the chance to go out and find a club. So Garnacho's representatives are looking into the Villa proposition. Villa not fully convinced, open to the idea, but the loan fee's affecting them. Garnacho not convinced by Villa, but he needs to get game time and play. So that leads us to thinking, obviously, World Cup coming, I need to play in the football team. If I'm in the Premier League, then I'm going to get noticed more. I think that's a definite, because that is the one league that, excuse me, that is broadcast around the world more than anything else. I've seen a great picture that's come up here of Lenny Yoro when he first arrived at Manchester United on day one, compared to where he's at now, day 365. He has beefed up. Man, Lenny Yoro is putting on some size. What an absolute animal. He looks at just 19. Love that. That's a great tweet that's just gone out there. Quickly as well, if you have just joined us as well, we did just bring in the news that Damasio brought us that negotiations between Roma and Palmeiras have cooled over the transfer for Richard Rios. Opportunity knocks, maybe. With Mbeumo done, do we move on to midfield? And like people have said in the chat tonight already in the live, that maybe the striker isn't the top option. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see what brings it. Anyway, Garnacho to Aston Villa does have legs, because Garnacho wants to stay in the Prem. There is the link to Chelsea, and like Romano said this morning, we could still see Garnacho going to Chelsea, because Chelsea have always kept in touch, like Larry Whitwell from The Athletic said, with Manchester United. And, of course, we have still got room at Chelsea for one more forward, is what Romano said, and Garnacho could be that player. I don't know how many players Chelsea need or what their thinking is, but look, when you're competing on all levels, you can do what Chelsea are doing, and you can afford it. I think more than anything, that's how they do it. It's mind-boggling, isn't it? It really is. But still, they can get it within their model, and it works for them. So yeah, if they want to take Garnacho, I think it will be a permanent deal. United will not loan Garnacho to Chelsea after what happened with Jadon Sancho. Obviously, I don't know that for definite, but you would have thought they would have just been telling Chelsea where to go with this one. Never in a million years would United want to do that type of business again with the likes of Chelsea. It just doesn't seem right, does it? But yeah, that is the update on the Garnacho situation. We are finally getting movement on him. I think it would be ironic, wouldn't it, that Garnacho, after his social media post that kicked up the absolute shitstorm, actually ends up going to the club of the kit he was actually wearing where Rashford was last season. That would be funny, wouldn't it? It's like he was just letting us all know a few weeks ago that he was heading out to Aston Villa this summer. It's crazy. Actually, yeah, Kaz just reminded me of something there. Chelsea actually tried to keep Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho didn't want to stay at Chelsea, but still. The fact that Chelsea screwed us over with Mason Mount, And obviously, we didn't have anything negotiated in from the start of the Jadon Sancho situation. We're not going to do Chelsea any favours anyway. I think that's. I think we can safely say that. Cunha and Mbeumo are not only better than what we have, but they will improve the players around them, which is another massive plus. They're worth every penny. Cunha and Bruno, Cunha and Mbeumo and Bruno and Ahmad. I'm looking at the likes of De Ligt and Lenny Yoro a bit high. Like, if you brought in a goalkeeper there, you're talking a different level there altogether. Just get it done, United. Stop faffing around. Now, I will move on to the goalkeeping situation because we did do a video earlier on Benjamin Cesco. Not Benjamin Cesco. I've just seen that because I've seen a report come up. Benjamin Cesco is open to a Manchester United move despite no European football. United have told potential new signings they need to sell in order to buy. Does that mean he waits? That's another report that's come out on Benjamin Cesco tonight. That's the third one that I've seen. So, yeah, let's see what develops from this again. Just to take us away from where I was talking a minute ago there. Anything that comes up like that, we'll keep bringing you throughout the show if any news breaks. It is a absolute hotbed today with news from Manchester United. On the goalkeeping situation, Andre Onana looks like he's going to be fit for the bleeding tour. Cannot believe it. I don't want to go on too much about Andre Onana. We need to replace him. That's all I'll say, and you all know that. The story on Emi Martinez, I said this before. Romano Care, people were saying there's poured cold water on it. No negotiations with Villa. Not necessarily. Look, Paul Hurst from the Times has also said that Andre Onana has to be sold. But then again, like, every single journalist is coming out with a story that's not actually true at the moment. So I tend to not fully believe that there's nothing there. Like, even Romano said, Manchester United know the conditions to the Emi Martinez. It's up to them whether they trigger him. And now we're asking the question, do Manchester United, with Andre Onana still there, if he's now fit, again, can they push him out the door? Can they get Andre Onana out the door in these last few weeks of the window and bring in someone like Martinez? All you need to know about Martinez deal right now is it's not going to go away until this window shuts. That's where we're at. There's no cup tie issue or situation with him. He can come to Manchester United right at the end of the window and still be a United player. Look, he can't play for the first 3 games anyway, so effectively Emi Martinez is off until we come back after the first international break because he misses the first 3 games. So he wouldn't be available anyway, and there's no rush. No rush. Or is it just the first game he's actually suspended for now? Sorry, I got mixed up with that one. It must have been brought back down again. But still, obviously going towards the back end of this transfer window, the Emi Martinez story is just going to continue to run until we actually get near at the end of this window. Until he actually comes out and says something, which I don't think he will. I actually do believe there is still movement in the Martinez story now. I do. Even if Romano is saying there's no negotiations yet with this, I still think that Manchester United, and we've got form for paying over the top as well, just because the payment structure is easier for us to afford. We will give clubs more money than their valuations just so we can spread the cost out. That's how United are running their transfers. So, yeah, that's where we're actually at right now. But, yes. In terms of Andre Onana, again, I just said it there. The report came out earlier on from a few publications. I think the Mirror, Disco Dave was talking about it as well earlier on, saying that Andre Onana's injury is definitely not as bad as first thought. Even Romano in his midday video said it's just a few weeks. He might actually be available for part of the tour and a miraculous injury recovery. Yeah, we'll see. But John Victor's on the scene as well. Obviously, he's a goalkeeper that Man United have been linked with. The Athletic are running that one more than the Emi Martinez one. But just prepare yourselves. Like when we hit the last 2 to 3 weeks of this window, expect things to just completely blow up in Manchester United's transfer window. It will. Moving on to more outgoings. And first of all, if we are willing to take about 30 million, maybe. Who's that for? Is that Onana? I think that's Onana, isn't it? Just put a name on it, please, mates. See. Centre mid is more important than a striker. That said, I'd take Sancho. I'd take Sancho Vlahovic swap. William Nevin says, Ter Stegen free, John Victor, small release fee makes more sense than Emi Martinez at 40 million. It's not going to be 40 million, no, William. It's 22 million. And for a Prem-proven quality keeper who I think is better than both of them that you mentioned there, I would still go for Emi Martinez, mates. I really would. Thank you, Tom, for dropping in the link for OK jerseys in the live chat as well. Check them out, everybody. If you want to get a new kit, you want to get a top retro kit as well, or training kits, they're all there on that site. Really cheap, really good deals. Thank you, Tom. I've dropped that link in there and pinned it up there for you in the chat, everybody, as well. Okay, Ant says, Adam, hear me out. I don't see the point in signing Martinez when he will need replacing in a couple of years. Why? Goalkeepers go on forever, mate. This myth that he's too old, I don't get it. He will need replacing in a couple of years anyway. Much more in demand. Much more is demanded of keepers these days. No, he's going to 36, 37, mate. I'm sorry. I'd sign him tomorrow. I get what you're saying, mate. It still doesn't deter me away from him. I think he's a quality goalkeeper and he's one of the best in the world. I do rate him massively. But that's just my opinion. Keep yours coming in, of course. Jadon Sancho. Rudy Galletti, the last and latest to come out and talk about Jadon Sancho. Now, we've gone through this all day from the morning into the midday. It's getting closer and closer and closer. All, apparently, that's left to be discussed is the fee from Manchester United and with Juventus. It's going from 20 to 15 at the moment. It's not moving. But Rudy Galletti has come out and said that Manchester United, Jadon Sancho, Juventus, extremely close now. Again, it's a real positive sign, I think. And again, I will... someone just said there, Richard Rios is very close to Roma. No, he's not, according to Damasio. If you have just joined us, Damasio has just come out in the last half an hour and said talks have cooled between them two. So anyone who's just coming in, I'm just picking up on a few comments there. But Jadon Sancho, again, everybody, I get 20 million, I think is where United are at with it. They did start out at 25, and most people have said today they're willing to drop that fee down. Makes sense. I think it's time just to move on. And again, like, even if you're getting 15 to 20 million for Jadon Sancho, you're still putting more money in the pot. And that net spend keeps on dropping down and then making other players more available. Now, I mentioned earlier on about BRYAN Mbeumo. BRYAN Mbeumo being available now for Manchester United and getting this deal done is easier because Jadon Sancho won't be there. So you're talking about a package here over possibly, 5 years, 65 million for BRYAN Mbeumo with the wages. Now, Jadon Sancho's costing Manchester United around 28 million a season in transfer fee instalments and wages. That gone. With a tiny little bit of change on the end, there goes Mbeumo. Done. Obviously, Matheus Cunha was brought in off the back of Evans, of Lindelof, of Ericsson, and all of their wages are being available and off the books. So that was Cunha done pretty much. When you add all that up, that's close to their wages for them three players. Dear God, that's up near 20 million a year also. And that's crazy just for wages. And we don't owe anything on them players either in terms of transfer fees. But it just goes to show how much they actually are. But yeah, that I think is why BRYAN Mbeumo now is easy for Manchester United to spread the cost out. So yeah, let's look at it this way. Jadon Sancho out of the door is the first. I think then that would give this fan base a lot of confidence that we can get other deals done, because I thought he was going to be one of the most difficult ones because he's got 1 year left. I thought he was going to try and sting us with a loan and then go on a free. Now, that could still happen. We could get the Fabrizio Romano cold water treatment again here and blowing about 8 other journalists out of the water with these rumours. But Rudy Galletti this afternoon has jumped in on this as well now. I'm just like, surely this has to be it now for Jadon. It's time. Come on. By the way, we are less than 100 likes away from 1,000 live likes. You guys are on it tonight. Absolutely epic. Thank you, everyone. Keep it coming in, please. Leo with a super chat says, 25 mil for a World Cup winning goalkeeper. Say no more. I think that's why a lot of people have seen it, actually. Dango has gone on loan to Rotherham, by the way. That's another deal that's gone through. Again, I love Dango. I think he's got great potential. His brother is mates with my son Alfie as well, and absolutely just destroyed by injuries. Another quality young player that probably won't make it at United, and ultimately I think he'll be down on that list that we were talking about yesterday of all them academy players that have been told they're not staying at the football club. That was made a big deal of yesterday when it really shouldn't have been. It's just normal protocol for Manchester United and other Premier League clubs to go through their academy levels and be honest with the players. Look, if they're turning into 20 and 21-year-olds and they've not featured for the first team, I don't want to be the voice of doom and gloom, but you're not going to make it. Man United are buying 17, 18, 19-year-old players and they're coming into the first team. If you're in the academy and you're 20, 21, you are never going to play for Manchester United's first team. It's not going to happen, is it? You would have already made your mark at this point. If you're 18, 19, you're not doing it, then you maybe got a little bit of a chance, a bit more development. If you get into 20 and 21, you know you're not going to make it. And that's, I think, is where a few of these academy players, I think Dango could have made it. He could have made it, but I think the injuries have just ruined it for him. They have. Let's get a few more comments in, everybody. Paul of the Red says, I still believe we should be having a Seville's Lucian Agume and Boca's Milton Delgado. A month ago, we could have got both of them for 20 million. I did ask about the Delgado one. I asked Sully on this one because he's right on top of all the academy stuff. And he said there wasn't anything in the Delgado story, so I'm not 100% certain there was ever anything really going on there, to be honest. But look, let's just see. I said it before, 6-7 weeks left of the window. There's a lot to happen yet for Manchester United. There's a lot to happen. So let's just hold on and hold on tight, because I think it is going to be a bit of a roller coaster. Let's see what else we've got in here. Dango was good. I watched him closely. He's a brilliant player. Honestly, he's an excellent player. He's in that bracket. He's just a bit older than the likes of Shea Lacey. Shea Lacey could play a part for United this season. There's a reason why he's training with the first team. There's a reason why he's probably going to go on tour and why he went on the Asia tour as well. Stay and keep a close eye on Shea Lacey. That's a player that had a horrendous injury that kept him out while he was just coming into his own at Manchester United at 17. Now, obviously, going into 18, he is going to be a player. He really is. Hopefully, he gets a chance. It's hard to see where he fits in with the amount of quality United have got now. Like, I can't believe I'm saying that. So where does these academy players fit in? But when your 10s are Cunha, Mbeumo, Xerxes, Mount, Bruno, Ahmad, at different stages this season, you're going to struggle to get into that sort of wide forward 10 role, aren't you? And I'm not saying he can't, and he won't take his chance, but that's one area of the pitch. If you're a forward-thinking player right now coming through the academy, I think Chido's probably got the best chance of anyone from the forwards right now because he's the only number 9 coming through. There are others like BRYAN. There are obviously other 10s like Ibrahimov, who is still just turning 17. Very, very good players. And this will be a big year at academy level for them players coming through as well. Be interesting to see how many actually do make it. We have over 1,000 likes, everybody, which is absolutely monumental. I love that word. It's massive. Literally. But again, massive thank you to you all. What a great show. Loving the positive vibes right now. A bit of good news in the day changes the mood of everyone in the fan base, doesn't it? It really does pick us up a little bit and it gives us that oomph. Thank you and welcome all the new subscribers who have just jumped onto the show while we have been live. I think we're creeping up to nearly 50 that have just jumped in while we've been live. Massive thank you to you again. Make sure that you do get your comments in on this video once the live finishes, please. I love reading the comments back. You get a few more brave ones when it's not live. And I think you all know what I mean by that. Please do get involved. If you have missed the show or you're playing catch up, of course, as well, make sure that you get your comments in the comment section. Also, please hit the like button. on the way out. Make sure you have hit that subscribe button if you are just watching. It helps the channel out massively. And I can't say that enough. It's free. And I said it's a thank you again. It's not going to cost you anything. Love it. Check out the link in the description for your retro Man United shirts. And of course, make sure that you do actually get across to me in the comment section. Like I said, that's the most important thing. We are a fully interactive channel and we love getting everyone else's views on this. Thank you to all the subs have joined us. Thank you to the new members. Thank you to all of the super chatters and the mods doing a fantastic job in there as well. We're on the march to 100k subscribers. Let's see how close we can get there before the start of the season. 91,000 is just around the corner, it would seem. Cheers, everybody. Have a fantastic evening. I will be back if anything else breaks. Of course, I will keep you updated on every bit of news. I'll be keeping my eyes on everything happening this evening. But for now, that is it. Thanks again. I'll see you all, if not tonight, at 8 o'clock in the morning for your morning update. Cheers, everyone.